Hey guys, super excited to talk to y'all today about Hotschedules. At this point, before you're getting into this video, you need to make sure that you've at least logged into your Hotschedules app. This is going to be teaching you how to use the app easily so you can get that schedule and have all the details for it. Before we get into that though, I want to have a little bit of housekeeping regarding schedule and time off requests and calling out. So we've had a lot of people calling out recently and last minute request offs, so that's going to have to change. We need everybody to be diligent with requesting off, and this tool is going to help a lot. Request offs are due the Wednesday of the week before, so schedule will be out no later than Saturday. And so today is Thursday, is the day I'm making this video, and if you needed off for next Saturday, you would have had to have put that in yesterday because the schedule for next week is going to come out this coming Saturday. So it has to be the Wednesday the week before is when those are due, and that's the latest you can get it in. You can actually turn in those requests weeks or even months ahead of time, which is what I highly suggest. So that's going to be the first thing that we wanted to talk about. The other thing is if you are calling out, we do ask that you try to get a cover for your shift. It's only fair to everybody on the shift, and we want to make sure that we're being a good team player. And if we are seeing that there's multiple tardies or calling outs, then we will need to address those with disciplinary action. So we just wanted to kind of, give y'all a refresh on that before we talk about the schedule. So really excited about these new changes. I'm going to be in and out of this video. I'm going to be showing you my phone so y'all can follow along. I highly suggest you do this on your phone through the HS Team app. You can also do this on a computer as well. The first thing I want to talk about is availability versus time off requests. So availability is when you're actually available to work. So every week your permanent availability should relatively stay the same. Time off requests, those can be different week to week. So you may need off on Monday one week and a Wednesday another week. But that doesn't mean you necessarily need to submit a whole new availability if it's just one day that's random. If it's something that's more permanent, like a few weeks, like every Monday for the next 4 weeks I need off, then it'd be good to submit a new availability. But outside of that, just submit a time off request, and we'll go over how to do that. So the first thing you need to do, though, to help us out is update your permanent availability. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Some of you might have already done this, and if you had, awesome, you're ahead of the game. But I want to show you one more time because it is important. We want to be able to put this into your hands and not have to come and ask us later. So I'm going to get to my home screen here on Hotschedules. So right now I am on my home screen for Hotschedules. You see these three little lines in the corner? I'm going to click on those, and it says my availability right there. So I'm going to click on that. All right, so the first things first, you see where it has the calendar up here in the corner? It says October 16th. I'm actually going to press that little plus sign. I'm going to click on today's date. If you were updating your availability starting today's date. Let's say in 2 weeks you knew your availability was going to be changing. You can come in here even months in advance. Let's say I wanted to go to December and I knew that my permanent availability would be changing on December 13th. I could click that date right there and then press done. And it has a little box that's lit up as blue right now. That's the availability that I'm currently changing. And so I could tell the system, hey, like, October 16th, if I click on that, I am unavailable all the time. But starting on December 13th, I am available all the time. So you can put new availabilities in, permanent availabilities in for later dates if you would like, if you have something you know that's going to be changing. If you know it's just, if you're updating it for right now, which I'm going to go back and do, this is what I need everybody to do, is update for right now what their current availability is. So I'm going to pick today's date and press done. So right now I have the 18th is lit up and I have all these dots right here that say available. The first thing you're going to go into is do Sunday and press unavailable because all of you guys have Sundays off, and then press done. So on here you can see on the bottom Sunday now shows unavailable. All the rest of the days show as available. And again, remember, this is availability, not time you need off. All right, so let's say you need to adjust Monday. So I would click on the box for availability. This is going to come up and it says available, unavailable, or partially available. So if you were available the whole day, you would just leave it as available. If you were unavailable that every single Monday that was normal for you, you would click unavailable. But let's say you were just available from 8 to 5 every day. So you'd come in and it would have this little thing at the bottom that comes up and it says 8 to 5, or let's say it was 7 to 7 or 6 or 8. So that was my availability. It doesn't mean that this is the time you'll work. It's just the hours you're available to work. The more availability you give us, the more flexible we can be with you, and the more hours that we can give you as well. So that's that, and then I would press done. And now on here it says, Monday I am partially available from 7 to 8. Let's say I was on Tuesdays, just one more example. Let's say I was only partially available to close. So I would come in here and say I'm available from, maybe I'm available 5 p.m. until closing, which would be 11:30 p.m. Okay, and actually closing, if y'all can put in 11:45 for closing, that would be great. And if you're available for opening, then you would put in 5:30 a.m. till whatever time. But again, if you're available the whole day, just leave it as available. So I would press done. So let's say that was my availability right there. Mondays I had some limited availability. Tuesday, with the rest of the week I was open. So at that point I would come down to the bottom and be like, yep, I'm good to go, and save. All right, so now you can see that first one is blue right there. That is the availability as of now. So that's how that would work. So that's availability. So now let's talk about time off request. So go back to those 3 lines that we were looking at earlier. And I have a lot more options than you guys are going to have, so just know that. So I'm going to go to time off request. Right there. All right, right now I don't show any time off requests. So I'm going to go to this little plus sign in the bottom corner. All right, and I'm going to do, so there's time off needed and prefer to work. Now let me explain this. So if you had a day that was outside of your permanent availability, but it was a day that, like let's say on Mondays you needed off every Monday, but this coming Monday you're actually available. You could do an availability for prefer to work if you'd like to, if it's a day that you normally can't work, and you're telling the scheduler, hey, actually I'm available that day if you'd like hours. But right now let's do a need off. So I'm going to go time needed off. And so it's going to pull up some options here. So its type is time off needed. On what day? Is it all day? Or maybe it's not all day. Maybe it's just, hey, I need to, on the 1st, I need to be off at 1:15 to, let's say, the 1st at 5:15. So what that says is at on the 1st from 1:15 to 5:15, I need to request off for an appointment. Okay, I press done. All right, and then I press done again. All right, so now that availability, it says pending approval, and that'll then get submitted to one of your leaders, and you'll see that get approved, which is really nice, so you'll know exactly where in the process it's at. Now down here, these are blocked days, so we might have some days like game days that we block off once too many people start requesting off. If that happens, you have to come and personally talk to one of your schedulers. Okay. All right, so that's requesting off and availability. I want to talk about roster here for a second. So y'all will all have roster. This is really nice because it'll show everybody who's working that day. So that's a really good tool. Also, if you go to staff, it's going to show you the whole staff, and it has everybody's information and phone number an email address. So if you are trying to get a shift covered, you now have access to be able to call people yourself, and so it's not relying on the store to have to find that for you. So you have more tools now to do that. So let's talk about trying to get a shift picked up. So let's say that you knew the schedule's gone out, it's Monday, you're working or you're getting ready to work, and you find out Friday, like your friends are going out and you'd really like to get the shift covered. Well, that's great. You can use Hotschedules to do so. So what you would do is you can go to your schedule, and in here where your shift will be, there will be an option to release your shift. And once you do that, it's going to release it to everybody who is not working that day. But once you release it, it doesn't mean that you've been approved for it. You have to wait until somebody picks it up for it to actually have been approved. You can't just release it and say, oh, I released my shift, but no one picked it up. You're still required to work the shift unless someone picks up that shift. Same thing, let's say that you and Susie and Bob, they're working shifts this week, and Susie says to Bob, hey, let's switch shifts Friday and Saturday. You would do that in here as well. You can go to switch shift and do that. Let me see what else is on my list of things to talk about. Context numbers. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So any other questions, come and chat with me. But this is a little mini intro to Hotschedules. Really excited about it. More videos to come as we get into Hotschedules as well. So thank you guys for listening. Have a good day.